Hi everyone, Jennifer Blevin-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I want to talk about the pros and cons of using progress note templates in medical practices. This video is intended to help providers, owners, managers, administrators understand when progress note templates improve efficiency versus when they create compliance, documentation, billing, and operational risks. Okay, so with technology and the convenience of the electronic medical records and the progress notes, there is the feature for creating templates. And I have seen them be very, very beneficial, but I've also seen them create a lot of risk as well. So that's what we're talking about today. One question I want you to ask yourself: are progress note templates helping your practice run efficiently? Or are they quietly creating compliance and audit risks? This is a very fair question. You really, really need to look into this a little further before you answer and make sure you are being realistic about your findings, okay? Almost every EMR today has this feature, right, of creating a template. And they can save massive amounts of time, especially with the increased administrative burden that we're all experiencing in this field. But if they're overused, poorly managed, they can create cloned notes, which aren't good. They can have inaccurate documentation. You can have denied claims as a result, and you're going to be in an audit exposure situation. Okay. In this video, we're going to break down the real pros and cons of medical providers using progress note templates and what practices should watch out for operationally if you're using templates. Let's define what progress note templates are, okay? They are pre-built documentation structures used inside the EMR. Some examples where things can be pre-built is the review of systems, the physical exam findings, part of the progress note, and any kind of follow-up visit requirements, okay? Then you can have some specialty-specific templates as well, depending on, what field you're in of healthcare. Primary care uses them a lot. Psychiatry will use them a lot. A lot of specialists with follow-ups, like surgical follow-ups, urgent cares will utilize them, and chronic care management situations, okay? Templates themselves are not inherently bad. I just want to put that out there, and I'm not trying to dissuade you from using templates. That's not the purpose of this. I'm just putting the reality of what you need to be careful of if you are using templates, okay? It's how they're used that can put you at risk. But first, let's talk about the biggest pros of templates, because again, I don't want to dissuade you from using them or have you stop using them. So it allows for faster documentation. Not going to lie, it allows for that really quick, and it helps save time. It reduces administrative burden. They help providers keep up with patient volume, and it reduces after hours charting. People have a better work-life balance often by using templates because it does allow for more time to focus on other things that are more time consuming. Better provider efficiency also improves scheduling capacity, revenue cycle stability, and workflow consistency, right? We just know that improved efficiency is number one pro for this. The number two pro of using templates is standardization. They help maintain consistent documentation structure. They're easier for staff and coders to review charts when needed, and they're useful for multi-provider practices. Absolutely. They standardize workflows. They are consistent with quality measures when you're doing your MACRA and MIPS, and it makes it easier to onboard new providers, whether they're an experienced provider or fresh out of school, okay? Pro number 3, they have improved billing support, right? They can help ensure that required documentation elements are included. Maybe it's a time-based CPT code and they make sure that that gets added. Maybe it's telehealth and you have to have the disclosure that you got the permission from the patient to conduct it via telehealth, things like that. The medical necessity issues that can happen with denials, those can be avoided because of using templates. And your compliance checkpoints are not forgotten, okay? So perfect example of this is when your providers are using them in chronic care visits to make sure that they're covering all the aspects of that patient-specific chronic care needs. Preventive services, definitely, and specialty procedure documentation. Good templates support the documentation. They should never, ever, ever replace clinical judgment. Okay, let's make that very clear. Pro tip number 4, you have reduced documentation fatigue. Burnout in healthcare is real. No matter which role you have, it's just some roles burn out faster, and documentation is one of the biggest reasons why. So templates are definitely going to help reduce that. Rewriting repetitive information daily is inefficient. I have to agree with that. And templates reduce repetitive typing. Yes, they do, and they might even reduce the risk of carpal tunnel, right? But this is where practices can start running into problems if templates become overly automated. And that's something that has to be kept in mind when you're utilizing templates. Okay? Now we've talked about the biggest pros. I know there's probably others, but those are the biggest ones that come to my mind. Now let's talk about the biggest cons and the risks that go with it, okay? Number 1, cloned or copied documentation. I see this all the time and it's so disheartening, okay? One of the biggest audit concerns that I have as a person who oversees a practice is that copy and paste of a template, or loading a template and not reviewing it and just letting it be. Oh my gosh. Providers may accidentally carry forward outdated information if they're carrying things forward, if they're cloning, right? So not okay. Notes begin looking identical between visits as well. And if you're having to send in medical records, the insurance companies are going to flag you and they're going to start questioning it. They're going to question your capabilities as a provider. They're going to question your judgment. They're going to question a bunch of things that really they shouldn't be, but because you've given them nothing else to look at and determine and make these decisions off of, they're going to, okay? Normal findings documented on patients never examined in certain areas is always something that I'm also finding. So if a patient came in for a cough and you said you looked at their feet and it's documented, that doesn't make very much sense, right? So you have to make sure that the providers using these templates are reading them, they understand what they're pulling forward, and they're auditing them on their own as well. Your risks for the cloned charts and the copying of notes is compliance exposure, Medicare audit concerns, medical necessity questions, and inaccurate patient records. I mean, to me, that's the number 1 con, and that is big enough that it makes me concerned, okay? But then we can talk about another con called template bloat. It's where you overload notes full of unnecessary information. And unfortunately, I see this happening because people are trying to show the documentation to support maybe a higher level E&M code being billed or something like that. It's not always those intentions. Sometimes it's just kind of because you can, you do, and you put all that information in there, but that is not the point of this either, okay? Important clinical details become buried when you put a lot of unnecessary information, and that's where it can be a problem. More documentation does not always mean that it's better documentation, and you have to keep that in mind. The operational impact of this particular con is that coders struggle to identify key details when they're reviewing your notes to bill out accurately. Providers reviewing your records, like a coordination of care, you're wasting their time because a lot of that stuff they might and most likely don't even need to know. And it's poor communication between clinicians, okay? Just get to the point. Con number 3, a false sense of compliance. Some providers believe templates automatically make documentation compliant. Very, very false, but they do. But they have to keep in mind compliance depends on accuracy, medical necessity, and patient-specific documentation, okay? We can't just be assuming, again, assuming gets us in trouble, can't just be assuming that a template is going to get you out of trouble or avoid trouble. A perfectly built template can still create non-compliant documentation if the provider is not actually updating the note appropriately for the patient's visit. Okay. Con number 4, billing and denial risks. Notes may not support billed services. Over documentation can trigger scrutiny from the payers. Yes, they can. And inconsistent documentation may create payer issues. So it could be medical necessity denials, it could be downcoding, you could see a result of audit requests because of this, and prepayment reviews. Nobody likes any of that, and these are some things that can be a result of that. Con number 5, loss of individualized patient care documentation. Patient encounters become overly generic, and that is not a good thing. Important nuances that are specific to a patient can get missed because of this, okay? Every patient's visit should accurately reflect the clinical reasoning, the provider assessment, the changes in condition, and decision making. And they're always going to be different based off of the patient. Even if you have 2 patients that come in for the same exact thing, a provider is likely going to have some variations and differences in some of these, and their documentation should look different, okay? But because of some of the templates that are built and being utilized, they don't, and that's a concern, okay? Best practices in utilizing templates, let's talk about that for a second. Best practice number 1, use templates as a starting point to jumpstart that progress note, okay? Templates should guide documentation, and providers should still require and want to personalize their notes. Best practice number 2, regularly audit notes internally. Someone needs to be consistently internally auditing chart notes. They need to do documentation reviews and compliance monitoring in order to be able to identify where some problems might be happening to get those corrected as soon as possible. Practices during these audits should look for cloned notes, repeated findings, and inconsistent documentation. Best practice number 3, keep templates specialty specific. Avoid those one-size-fits-all templates because that's definitely going to get you in more trouble. And your templates should match actual workflows and your patient populations. Best practice number 4, train your providers and staff. Many documentation issues are workflow training related, not EMR problems. So you want to make sure that you do this during your provider onboarding training, your compliance education with staff and providers, and establish the expectations for documentation overall. Templates can absolutely improve efficiency and reduce burnout in a practice and for your staff. But poor template management can create compliance risk, billing problems, and audit exposure. And those are 3 really big things that it can lead to worse for wear in the practice. And so you want to make sure that you're trying to avoid that at all costs, basically, okay? Because documentation inaccuracies are not good. It's a patient safety issue, and all of those other downstream effects are just harder and harder to fix the more it goes on. The goal is not to eliminate templates. That's not the goal of this video and this awareness. The goal is to make sure templates support accurate, patient-specific documentation rather than replacing it, okay? Like everything, moderation is good, and it shouldn't always be the same. So as long as you're paying attention to the things we talked about, you're doing internal audits, you're training your staff, you're being mindful, you're going to do well with templates. You just cannot let it slip, okay? So if you are using templates right now, go audit, go see how things are working. If you don't use templates yet and you want to implement them, please take these pros and cons into consideration before establishing your workflows and expectations with your providers and staff. If you have any questions or comments about this, please leave that in the comments below. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, please share this with your colleagues whom you feel would benefit from the information. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.